This is not going to be safe for work or kids or scholars or anybody else who wishes to investigate the mysteries of the unknown.
Yes, very good, human. You may live another day.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Best Intentions. We have a little bit of stuff to do on the scorecard here because this is ultimately a TTRPG that we are playing to tell the story. So here's Tony to sort of explain how that's going to work. Once we're all done with that, we'll get going with the actual play itself.
Okay, well, since this is the start of a new session, every single skill that the characters had previously succeeded on, they marked on their character sheets, and now they get a chance to increase them. And in order to do that, they have to roll their D100s and roll over what their number is. So, say their stealth is a 50, they need to roll over 50 in order to increase it. And if they are successful on that, they'll increase it by 1d10. If they fail, it just doesn't increase. The same thing goes for luck. So if their luck is 60, they roll a 61, they get to increase it. They roll underneath their luck, they don't get to increase it.
This is contrary to how we normally roll, just for like the listener's benefit, that when we're actually playing, we want to roll under these things. So the higher it goes, the easier it is to succeed, but the harder it is to increase to make it any better.
Mm-hmm. And also another thing, I'm trying to stick to rules as written about as much as I can, but just for brevity, we are not going to be strictly following the healing rules that's in 7th edition Call of Cthulhu, because otherwise, if you had heard what happened to them last episode, they would be out of commission for a really, really long time.
Yeah, for narrative purposes, it's going to be faster so that the story doesn't get fucked up by us actually fucking up.
I took this case and then I got shot. And I was gone for a month.
So let's get going. Tony, who do you want to roll first and get things up?
Dave, let's go ahead and start with you. Why don't you go ahead and roll to upgrade some of your skills and then let us know what went up.
Let's throw them bones. I don't think anything went up on that roll. It was a 5. That was for my medicine, which was I had to get over 11 to increase that. So that's...
You know what's going to happen is you're going to roll really low to level up everything, and then when you're actually playing, you'll just roll high all the time.
I'm going to roll high. Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. Okay.
Do it all real quick, and then let us know.
That's a fail. That's a fail. That's also a fail.
Really? Nothing went up?
Oh, there's another one. Okay, yeah. So my luck went up by 8, and my stealth went up by 3. I will need that luck, but everything else is kind of stayed the same.
That's good, because you were the heavy spender on luck last episode, so it's good that you got back a good bit.
Yeah, no, I'm glad I got some of my luck back.
Okay, well, awesome. Spencer, how about you go ahead and you take us away on a little trip down you?
Okay. Yeah. That's one luck up. See if it goes up. Tony, I wish you could see these. Because that's the first luck's going up by 10. Going from 57 to 67. Let's give a shot at dodge, which I have checked here because I dove for cover a few times.
Oh, was dodge something that we... Oh, okay.
That's going up by
Dave, did you forget
5.
about dodge?
I did forget about dodge.
Okay, we'll get back to you and you let us know what your dodge turned into.
Let's do this other one, which was persuade. That's going up by 3. I mean, okay. I mean, better than nothing.
Yeah.
And then the last one, which was stealth. I shot people. I should have firearms too. So that is not... Stealth is not going to go up. But I've used handguns. Let's roll for that, see what's going up, if that. That is a 68 over the 60, so that's going up by 1. Fuck.
Yeah. So my dodge,
dumb shit.
my dodge is 30, and I rolled an 18. So,
Dave,
that's
this
not
is
going
to
up.
be a fun episode for you. I can feel it in my bones.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Without any further delay, let's go ahead and hop back into Best Intentions.
Previously on Best Intentions.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'm here to check out the estate as per Adam Backstrom's request.
Nobody gets into that fucking house.
Somebody's already been here.
Looks like you guys didn't fucking listen to me.
Shoot him.
Well, we just turned this disappearance into a triple homicide.
And as you open it up, the contents are Backstrom's will. Kind of start to put things together. These were men who worked for Mordecai the Hammer O'Leary. Joe, you feel a shot go right into your shoulder, and then the next one go somewhere, maybe in your side. Then you feel you get shot somewhere in the upper thigh, and you get into the car, kind of bleeding on the leather of the car. You both see this time is a rat with a human face. So after escaping from Backstrom's estate, from the hail of gunfire, from what the guards were shooting at you, evading the police and getting back into your car, you guys are huffing and puffing, covered in blood that hasn't been washed away by the rain. As you guys are sitting in the car and catching your breath, you see sitting on the hood of the car a rat with a human face. Now, as it turns to look at you two as you're both still seated in the car, it looks as though the head, which is where the human face would be, is coming out of the rat's head, which is opened up almost to an 180-degree angle, with the front teeth covering the forehead somewhat. You can see the forearms of the rat stick out and kind of move around uselessly. And underneath on the chest of the rat, you see these two scrawny-looking human arms that pop out with the index and middle finger fused together along with the ring and pinky finger that are fused together, but they're still separated, so it has like these three digits, the thumb and then two conjoined fingers. As it turns and looks at both of you somewhat with this dead expression on its face, I want both of you to make sanity checks for me.
I need to do one in real life.
I'm gonna go take a shower. Normally Lovecraftian horrors are Lovecraftian horrors because like the imagination takes over, but Tony, you just described something really grotesque and made it work anyway. You sick son of a bitch.
So my sanity is 67. Am I trying to get under that, or am I trying to go over that?
It's the same thing as a skill roll.
Okay.
So we want to get...
God fucking damn it.
So we want to get under it, right?
Yeah, you want to get under it.
Okay. Well, I'm sitting at a 49 over 79, so I'm good, I guess.
Okay. Dave, what did you get?
A 91 over 67.
Oh, that's a fail.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So, Spencer, you're only going to take 1 point of sanity damage because you passed.
Who?
I'm sorry. Mr. Harris.
Yeah,
Mr. Benjamin Harris.
We're doing characters now.
So, Mr. Harris, you're going to go ahead and take 1 point of sanity damage for me, please.
Okay.
Joe, because you failed, you're going to take... I'm going to go ahead and roll here. 5 points of sanity damage.
Fun. That was almost the max I could take.
Which, because you took 5 points in one go, is going to elicit an intelligence roll to see whether or not you go temporarily insane.
Oh, no.
So I'm testing that against my intelligence?
Yep. Now, before you roll, here is the interesting thing about this. When you take 5 or more points of sanity damage in one go, you have to make an intelligence roll. This you want to fail. Because if you fail this, it means your mind has blocked out the horrors that you've seen and is kind of protecting you. But if you pass it, it means you understand what you're seeing and you can't handle it, and you're gonna go nuts.
Great.
So
this
for
is gonna.
this
This
roll,
is gonna.
You want to fail.
Yeah, it's gonna come. Whoa! I know it. That is a 68, and my intelligence is 75.
Oh, you are
Yeah.
going to go temporarily insane
What the fuck is that? What the fuck? Jesus Christ!
for 10 minutes.
Great.
So, Dave,
Okay.
I trust you. Not Dave. Joe, I trust you in your role-playing ability. So, because yours is the more exciting between the two, I will go ahead and tell you this. You have a lot of friends. You've made a lot of friends going from place to place and working around. The face you see on this rat looks exactly like your friend, Trash Can Pete.
No! Anybody
Who
but
is-
Trash Can.
Who is a wandering vagabond who is usually pals around with who's a wandering vagabond who usually wanders around with his dog Duke.
Who he ate at one point, I think.
He ate one Duke. He was up to Duke 4 last time we checked.
Just
went to
one
the-
of them.
Duke the Fourth.
So
So it's for audience understanding. There is a board game for Call of Cthulhu, and one of the characters in it is
Ash Can Pete. But
Ash
his,
Can
his
Pete,
real
but we
name is
called him-
Trash Can.
Yeah,
we all know
I
it's
think we
Trash
called
Can.
him
Called him
Trash
Trash
Can
Can.
Joe or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was the most, by far, the most competent of all the characters in that board game, and basically single-handedly won the
game for us. Yeah, when
by
we played that
having
one
a
time.
gun and eating his dog. What a fate! This is canon.
Yeah, with this information and with your mind being racked by this reality, how does Joe proceed?
Jesus Christ! What the fuck? Ah! He's
So-
screaming his head off.
So, Harris, Ben, Joe just starts losing his mind at this rat. He is struggling in his chair. He's pointing at it. He's kicking. He's screaming. He is 100% in panic mode. You took 1 point of sanity damage, so you're still going to react in some way. But what do you want to do? You still have control of your faculties, but you see this weird looking rat thing. You don't know what the hell this thing is. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna
Fucking
vomit.
shoot it!
No.
What?
I'm gonna vomit and then just like okay.
Alright.
No.
yeah.
I've
seen worse.
Audibly, Benjamin is. Oh Jesus! No! Not again! Not again! Gets out of the car and takes off his coat and is gonna like try to just. He's visibly stressed out, like out of his mind, but he's gonna try to catch it because there are people who will need to see this.
Okay, I would say
So
because
that's
it's
the
a rat.
coat is off, and I'm going to try
Trash
to
Can!
capture it.
Why did it have to be Trash Can?
Because it is a rat, and rats are very quick. Let me just see. I think
Is this a rat, Tony? Is this a rat?
it's definitely rat-shaped.
Is
I
it?
want you just to make a dexterity, and it's gonna be dexterity versus the rat's dexterity.
Okay.
Okay.
So are we just? It's like, is it a roll off, or am I using my sheet here?
It's gonna be a roll-off, so you have to roll your dexterity. The rat got a hard, so you need to get a hard or better.
I got a 13, which is one off from extreme.
Yeah, you get up out of the car, taking off your coat. Joe still screaming his head off. The rat looking at Joe, then looks up at you, goes to hop off of the hood of your car, and you snatch it like a sack in your coat. And you can see it struggling and moving around, and you can also just hear this weird moaning noise coming out from the coat, just somewhat muffled by the fabric of the coat. You hear this coming out of the coat.
hood. Special gets the hood, Ben.
Is there a way? Can I like tie the coat off?
Yeah, there's a way that you can tie it off. It
Yeah, I
won't
mean
be-
it's a trench coat. So
super secure, but
the little
yeah.
waist tie I can use to actually like tie it off. I think.
yeah. So
do I-
you tie it off.
I would like to roll luck as a skill to see if I happen to have like a box or some other secure container I can utilize in the car.
You do have the trunk of the car,
There's a trunk.
I would say probably just this in general. You have like a toolbox in there.
Okay,
I'd say that'd probably that'd be a reasonable thing for you to have in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna dump out the tools and utilize the toolbox as the new secure container, because I'm gonna need something to be able to get this inside of a building, because there's gonna be people who are gonna need to see this. And I just realized I said I'm gonna dump out the tools, and I'm gonna have to make that sound happen later.
That's a choice you made.
Fuck.
So, Joe, the rat is no longer in your view of sight. You don't see it anymore. You are still hyperventilating, but your panic has calmed down somewhat, but you are shaking like a leaf.
And Ben's doing something in the trunk right now.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So you open it up, you dump out the tools, you slam the rat in there. Maybe not slam it in there, but you put it in there.
Damn it! What was the point?
Yeah, you put it in there. You put it in there quickly. You close it. You lock it.
This is viscerally disturbing, but there's people who will also need to see this. I don't know. I'll say I just get like a screwdriver and just puncture a hole in it, so that
in
there's
the toolbox.
Yeah, so there's some air vent.
Okay. Wanted to clarify, in the toolbox, not in the rat.
Right. No, so it can breathe.
Yeah,
It needs a hole in it.
A hole in the chest will help it breathe really good.
I poked some holes in its back so it could breathe.
So that's, and I close up the trunk and I look at my coat. It probably looks normal. I put that back on.
Yeah. There is a...
oh god, that coat's a lost cause.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it shit in the coat or something. And I get back in the car and just... Joe?
That was Trash Can Man. That was Trash Can.
You knew him? You knew that thing?
Oh god. It had his face.
Hey, Joe. It's all right. This is we're gonna figure this out. We're already on a case with somebody who has apparently breathed an unnatural light. We got a man. Our client has bones that are rubberizing.
I didn't sign up for this, man.
Stow that shit, Hudson.
Stow that shit.
I was concerned something like this might happen. And if I'm being completely honest, it's why I wanted a partner for this one.
Do you have anything to drink?
One second. Gets out of the car, goes back to the trunk, gets the bottle of rum, pours a little into a flask and brings it back. This is about all I got.
Joe just drinks the whole thing.
Okay, well that flask is empty. I can refill it later.
I really needed that, man. I can't...
Listen, we're both hurt. Just calm down. And first things first, we got to get these bullet wounds patched up.
Yeah, I did as best a job as I... Get a hold of yourself, Joe.
It's all right, Joe. Just settle down. And I turn on the car and I start driving.
We didn't hit any arteries, but there is extensive damage to your leg, shoulder, and side. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how bad the damage is for me.
What happened to your accent?
I'm from Colorado first, son. I do the accent to blend in. And why are you calling me out on this bullshit right now?
I lost it when I went crazy.
I lost it when I went crazy. Fuck you. You're from here. Where's your fucking accent?
I don't have an accent. I just don't. Deal with it.
I decided that when I was born. They said, hey, do you want an accent? I said, nah.
Nah, I'll pass on the accent, see?
Nah.
Yeah, fuck it. So, Ben, where are you driving to?
The hospital, where Dr. Turnbaum, I think his name is, where Dr. Turnbaum works.
Okay. I'll go ahead and move you guys over there.
I don't know where the fuck that is on the map. I'll just zoom out and watch the arrow move. I don't know how big of a difference that is. I know where the arrow is right now. You don't have to ping it. There we go. Oh, that's not very far at all.
Nope.
Delta 6-3. Okay.
Yep. So you guys pull up to Arkham General. You find a parking space. You park in front of there and you get out of the car. It's still raining. And you walk up. Well, let me ask this first. Do you leave it in the trunk before you go inside, or are you going to bring it inside with you?
I have different plans for the Rat Man thing.
The Rat Man, skip-a-dip-dip-dip-dip-dip, skip-a-dip-dip-dip-dip.
No, I have different plans for the Rat Man. I'm going to leave it in the trunk for now. I'll give it a quick check just to make sure, it can't escape from the inside of a toolbox that's pretty well latched, right?
So you open up the trunk, you look at the toolbox, which you put it in. You can see the toolbox every now and again jiggles and shakes.
I don't know if it can understand human speech, but I am going to just sort of, tap the box. Just, don't worry, it's going to be okay. We're going to get this taken care of. Just don't struggle in the meantime.
And the box continues just to jiggle and shake.
I close the trunk again.
I am going to say this, Joe, by this time you are no longer... It's been past 10 minutes by this time. So, you're still
Shaking.
on edge. You haven't forgotten what you saw, but you've collected your nerves for now.
And my pants would be ruined if they weren't already.
Alrighty, so continuing on. You both go. So you both go into Arkham General, and as you approach, it's not too many people here. You see some nurses and some doctors going back and forth between the hallways, and some of them walk past you. One person stops and looks you guys over and just kind of shakes their head and keeps going to wherever they were going. There's a reception desk in the front where you see 3 nurses currently working. One's on the phone, and one's looks up from whatever paperwork she was doing and gives you guys a very worried glance.
Yeah, I mean, we're both visibly shot.
We don't have an appointment, but we'd like to see Dr. Turnbaum.
Is he in?
I can see if he's available. How about you two boys? She points over to the chairs, which have a cloth covering. How about you two boys? You just stand here, and I'll go check.
Yeah, they don't really want to clean up blood off of the furniture.
Yeah, I'm heavily favoring one leg, as I feel like only arriving at the hospital does my leg start to hurt because the adrenaline's wearing off.
Yeah, shock has passed.
There's nobody still shooting at us, and there isn't actively new psychologically terrorizing things.
So you see the nurse coming back, and behind her is Dr. Turnbaum with his big mustache and white hair, and you can see his glasses pinched on the tip of his nose. He's walking over to you. He's actually in his doctor uniform when he approaches you guys, and he stops, and she goes back behind the desk, and he looks at you two. My God, what happened to you two? You know what? Just follow me. We'll get you two squared away.
Thank you, Doctor.
You guys follow him. You guys follow him into not his office, but into what you call a patient room,
An examination room.
An examination room. And he points to the table for one of you to sit on, and he points at the chair for whoever wants to go first.
I'll take a seat.
Yeah, I got 2 bullet wounds and pretty close to vital areas.
Okay, well,
I did a quick patch job, but it's nothing that's going to hold for any amount of time.
I can see it was very competently done, so I applaud you on that. You two might be here for a few hours. Is that okay? Well, it's going to have to be okay if you want these bullets out of you.
The other option is going out in the street and dying, so no. I'm going to be here for a while.
So what's your insurance like?
Is insurance a thing in the 1920s?
I don't know. I didn't look it up. So so he gets to work on Joe, digging around in your shoulder. It's going to have to be in a sling for a few months.
I've got a few months. It's going to have to wait a little bit, but just give me the sling.
If you want it to heal correctly, Joe.
Still working on Joe, he talks to you, Ben, without looking at you. He says, so did you find any clues?
We actually found quite a bit, Doctor, and we're more than aware of your involvement in this situation then.
Oh, yes. I've been Adam's doctor for the last year and a half now.
You've been Adam's doctor for quite some time. Was he in good health before all of this?
Oh, yes. Extremely good health. Very healthy young man. used to join his uncle on all kinds of trips. I think the last one they went to was in North Africa somewhere.
How long ago was that?
Oh, 3 years ago, I think. According to Blair. Okay, almost there.
Ow.
You are very lucky that none of this did any more damage than it already did.
Yeah, I tell myself that every day.
Okay. So, what circumstances led to, you two to being shot?
Let me answer that question with another question. Are you familiar with any of the nephew's involvement with Blair's disappearance?
The only thing he's been trying to do is find his uncle ever since he's disappeared. I can't really do much other than that. He sends correspondence out using Miss Victosa, but
All right. What about his
other
cousins?
than that, he can't really. His cousins, though, that's a different story. They did attempt to bribe me in order to get a hand of Adam's medical records.
And you turned it down?
Of course I turned it down. That is a breach of a Hippocratic oath I take.
Did they
Okay.
reveal anything in this exchange that might be helpful in any of the proceedings as I go forward?
Well, they don't like Adam, and they don't like Blair.
They didn't like Blair.
No, I'd say they never liked Blair. Okay.
So this isn't just a matter about money, it's only about money. They didn't care for Blair at all.
No, I'd say not. They at least have a decent amount of money, or act like they have a decent amount of money. Right, your shoulder's almost done, my friend.
Thanks.
Adam did say that they live outside of their means.
I have not been over to their home. I've only ever met them when they tried to bribe me that one time.
In case it gets out of hand, Doctor, if for some reason something goes wrong, you should know that the cousins have been employing, we'll say, mercenaries to guard the estate. And that's what led to our injuries here.
He stops working on Joe for a second. That do it. Shoulder's done. Where is the other wound?
Joe gestures to his side. Just some blood seeping out.
He takes your shirt, he pulls your shirt up, looks at it, he goes, "You are probably one of the luckiest men I've ever met."
Yeah, it's almost like you spent 20 some odd
everything.
If it had hit the kidney, I probably wouldn't be conscious right now.
Well, this is going to hurt a lot.
Yeah, I got a quick question for you, Doc. Can you write me a prescription for some whiskey?
No, I can write you a prescription for some opium.
I will take that.
Okay. But he does walk over to a drawer.
I don't think during Prohibition whiskey was whiskey prescribed?
Yeah, during Prohibition.
Oh. I didn't know that. You learn something new every day.
The more you know.
Yeah. So he goes over to the cabinet, and he opens it up, and he reaches behind some boxes, and he pulls out a little thing of whiskey, and he hands it to you, Joe. Here you go.
Glug, glug, glug.
Oh, come on.
I'm not sharing this. I got shot in the
Yeah,
front
that
of the
doesn't mean
fucking gut.
chug the fucking shit. I don't want to pal around with a drunk character. It will impair you because Tony's doing this almost in real time.
Fine, I'll sip this and I'll hold on to it for later.
Okay. So he continues to work on your side. Is there anything you guys want to bring up to Turnbalm while you guys are getting worked on, or?
I did mention that the people who shot us were hired by the cousins.
And I don't think we should bring up the fact that we found the will, because even though Dr. Turnbaum seems very trustworthy right now, we don't know how
Correct.
far.
Do you know who they hired?
Doctor,
Mm-hmm.
as much as you have your Hippocratic oath, I have my terms of discretion as well. I'm not willing to reveal that information until after we've settled the matter.
All
Well,
the
that's
booze is
fair.
finally starting to catch up.
All right. Okay. You are all done, my friend. He pats you on the back, Joe.
Oh god, I'm just gonna go sit over here for a few. I'm gonna just close my eyes, but I'm not asleep, guys. Just.
Mr. Harris, you're next.
I hop up on the table,
All right.
stretch my leg out.
He looks at it. Wow. A few more inches up and to the right, and it would have gone right into your asshole. Okay, here we go.
I feel like you were making a pass at me, Doctor.
So are you single, or you see anybody?
Do you come here often?
I meant as an insult.
Do you get shot in the butt like all the time and maybe not with a bullet? All right, so let's go ahead and unless you guys want to ask him anything else or talk to him some more, I'll say for between the two of you, it takes him maybe about 3 hours to get you guys fully patched up.
Okay.
I'm fine with paying that price.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and just break it down. You guys got to Adam's house at 11. You left probably around 11:45 or 12. You got up to Blair's estate, maybe around 12:15 or 12:20. You broke in. You were there till, I'd say,
You said
2.
it took a couple of hours.
Yeah, I'd say you guys were there till 2:30. Left, and now it's either 5 or 6 o'clock right now.
Let's round up to 6.
Yeah, we had to drive to the hospital too.
Yeah, so let's say it's
So 6?
it's 6 o'clock by the time Turnbaum finishes patching you guys up.
Oh boy.
Okay.
All right. So are we at the hospital right now?
Almost.
I
Right.
mean, I imagine we have to leave.
You are all done. Let's just say I'll do this one pro bono. Next time though, you owe me money.
Well,
Next time.
you know what, Doctor? I don't think I'm particularly happy with that. And so I give him, I don't know, $15, which I guess is a lot for the 1920s.
All right. He takes it. Thank you. If you need anything else, I am here until 3 a.m. After that, I go home.
Good to know, Doctor. Thank you.
All right.
One more thing.
Mhm.
If you can keep this whole visit between us, I would appreciate that.
He does the whole little lips are sealed, leaving a little zipper sign over his lips.
Thank you, Doctor.
Don't know about the nurses, but hopefully the doctor's on the level.
The nurses don't know who we are.
Right. But they do know that we did walk in with some gunshot wounds.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Health? Any hit points back?
I will
Or
just
all
say,
of them?
go ahead and take off major wound, and
But
I will be nice, and I'll roll a d10. You get back 9.
Both of us?
We both get back 9?
Yes.
Oh, because I rolled a 10 over here, but all right. Either way, that's more than full.
Yeah, I'm back at full. Wow. Okay. That was really nice.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Everybody gets 1.
Everybody gets 1. No more, no less. We go back to each of our apartments and swap out clothes.
All right, and I will go ahead and just tack on an extra hour
All right.
of doing that. So now it is 7 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay. Leaving, I guess, I don't know. We probably went to Joe's first. Leaving my apartment, I check one more time and assume the rat's still there. Like the box is still closed, yeah?
The box is still closed and it's still jittering and janking around.
Great.
I get back into the car. All right, Joe, you keep asking about alcohol.
Yeah, I just needed a little bit to take the edge off, and there's a lot of edges to this case.
Well, I know where there's a lot of speakeasies, and there's one very specifically. I need to go talk to Mordecai.
Mordecai. I was hoping we go to Sycamore's, but I don't know where Mordecai's is.
Don't worry about it for now, but are you still good to fire a gun if you need to?
The kickback's gonna hurt, but I can do it.
Your good arm?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna need to carry around the rifle just so I can get a good aim. So I've never been good with pistols anyway.
All right, your call.
Part of the reason I'm bringing the trench coat, because going in there unarmed was kind of dumb.
Do you have a sawed-off?
We can make one really quick.
So no, it's fine. Just make sure you keep it concealed.
Right.
So we drive towards Mordecai's Speakeasy.
So you drive. You start making your way to Mordecai the Hammer O'Leary's hideout, or his place of business, more like it. You drive up there. You know this is a spot where Mordecai can usually be found.
Yeah. I do holster my pistol on like that little like side holster that you would see. It's like on the side chest.
Mm-hmm.
And I take one of those little things for a revolver that reloads it really quick.
Okay.
Puts in like 6 bullets all at once, and then you just pull it out and toss it.
Quick load.
Yeah, so I bring my revolver, my quick load that's set up, and I get the rat. I get the toolbox.
I'm gonna be like Kyle Reese and tie the the shotgun to a string on my tent and underneath my trench coat.
Do you think I would have a hiding spot inside my car?
I mean, you could always make one.
Like slip it underneath the seat up in the mechanisms or something, so a place that people wouldn't typically look.
Here's what I want you to do. I want you to make a stealth roll, but it's going to be for hiding the will in your car.
Okay. Let's do that. I go back after I grab the rat, I go back and I hide the will. in my car.
Okay.
And I will do a stealth roll for that. That is a hard success, sir. 24 over 25 on the hard. 24 over 52. So it's hidden pretty well, I think.
All right, if you feel comfortable.
I say before we leave, Joe. Just tell me, do you think you'd be able to see that where I put that just now?
I'm gonna roll spot hidden. Can I do that, Tony?
Okay.
4 out of 67.
Yeah, you see it.
I mean, I can see it because I kind of saw where you're putting it, but outside observer, probably not.
All right. So yeah, the last thing I do before I go inside is I grab the manila envelope, fold that up, put it in my coat pocket, just so it's not like in the car loose. And we go up. Is there a bouncer or a guard or something to this place?
There is a secret knock that you do that you know what the secret knock is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's the...
We walk up to this door with a tool kit that has a rat in it. I've stashed a hammer that I took off the last guy, and I've got my weapon, and I do the knock.
You do the knock. You see the little eye slit thing slides over, looks down at you, closes, opens it up.
Here to see Mordecai.
Mr. Mordecai. He's down in the dining area right now. Yeah, just go downstairs, and he's in the VIP section.
Thank you.
So you guys head downstairs. It's like this brick wall hallway with these concrete stairs that go down. And as you go down, you start to hear music somewhat drifting up the hallway and to you guys. And you can see a light coming down where this other door is. And as you guys open up the other door, you see this large room, full bar, stage, bands going. You can see there's a little dance floor where there's people dancing. And tables littered about the place where people are eating and drinking and laughing and smoking. And then in the corner, you see this half-circle kind of sofa where you see Mordecai is talking with a man you guys recognize as the big fella who was standing guard outside of the Backstrom estate.
Oh, fuck. I'm gonna try to hide my face so he doesn't see me. So can I stealth?
Yeah, I'd like to blend into the crowd.
Blend into the crowd,
blend in.
Essentially.
I'm gonna say blending in. Ooh, do we have something
Is that
for
not
that?
I mean, I think stealth is the most effective.
Yeah.
I'll say go ahead and just do stealth to just kind of blend in with the rest of the crowd.
Oh, boy.
I got a 21, which is hard.
Okay.
Keep doing really good on stealth if that doesn't increase.
I'm
next session.
Doing math really quick.
He's gonna have to. He's thinking about how much luck he has to spend to be successful.
So let's see. I have 37 luck right now. My stealth is a 58. And I rolled an 87. So that would be 29 points. I'm not gonna spend all that luck because I think I'm gonna need it later. I'm sorry, Spence.
Okay. No, I mean, if my stealth is good enough to just not be seen with him, then that's fine by me too.
Okay.
All right. So
I go and I get a couple of drinks at the. I'll be right back, Joe. And I go and I get a couple of drinks.
I will be nonchalant.
So, Ben, you make your way nonchalantly, stealthily up to the bar, hiding yourself in between the crowds of people and still keeping an eye on Mordecai and who he's talking to. You can also see there's a few other people in that booth who look like Mordecai's men. Joe.
Sure. My goal is that hopefully that guy leaves, and then I want to talk to Mordecai without the big guy actually standing right there.
Joe.
Yes.
Here is another gameplay thing, and I'm going to give you the option for it. This is called pushing the roll. You describe to me how you would approach your stealth differently than how you've already done it, and you get a free reroll. However, if you fail this one, it will be basically like you rolled 2 100s.
He gives you a worse effect than a regular fail.
So you can choose to push the roll, or you can just keep what you got. But in order to push the roll, you have to describe to me how you'd approach it differently and kind of like a different tactic about going about your stealth.
So right now, Joe is trying to blend in with the crowd, but Joe is a pretty big guy. This is a place he's never been to before, so he's being pretty awkward. I think at this point, Joe's kind of realizing he's kind of sticking out like a sore thumb. So he's going to try to go find a place to sit down that's out of sight and kind of hide in a booth. Are there booths here?
There are booths here. There is one open booth with no one's with. Well, I'd say there's an open booth with a couple of guys sitting at it, but they seem pretty inebriated. And you figure you could probably just squeeze in there and they wouldn't really mind.
Yeah, I'm going to try to do that.
All right, go ahead and re-roll your stealth.
That is 49, so barely a pass.
Okay.
All right. All right, you make your way over there. So yeah, you get into the booth and you just kind of hunker down. One of the drunkards go, "Hey, you got beers?
Beers, guys. Drink. Guys want some whiskey? I got a little bit of whiskey.
Ooh, whiskey, bartender, more."
Are they near the bartender?
No,
I
they're
imagined
not.
that they were
Near the
really
bartender.
far away from the bar.
I'm gonna pull up my whiskey bottle and pour some whiskey into their glasses so they're not making a huge scene.
Okay. So you guys wait for a little bit. You see, eventually, the big guy who was talking to Mordecai leaves and he goes into the back room. And Mordecai keeps drinking and he looks very put out and very frustrated at whatever news this guy just gave to him.
Yeah,
Mordecai
what
seems to be in a very bad mood.
he gave him?
I'm gonna try to eavesdrop on what people are talking around in the general surroundings. It doesn't have to be Mordecai, but I just want to see if there's anything what the feel of the club is.
This is what you were doing when he was still talking to him?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. You can either do a listen roll or you can use your read lips. However you want to approach it.
I'm looking for my read lips on the... Oh, read lips is 50, my listen is 57.
I didn't know listen is a skill.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any reason I can't also do this?
You can try to make a listen roll too if you want.
Yeah.
Because I know you don't have read lips, but you can try to make a listen.
I'll let him use listen, and I will try to use read lips, because if I use read lips and I got a good view of Mordecai, I might be able to tell what he's saying.
Okay.
So, read lips. 45.
All right, that's a success.
Listen's a 51 over 35, so it's just a fail. There's too much going on.
Okay, yeah. So, Ben, you're unable to make out what's being said between those two.
I was
Joe,
just thinking just general, but yeah.
Yeah. I can give you
rumors
some
or stuff.
Yeah, I'll go. Let's do Joe real quick.
Yeah, do Joe.
So Joe, looking around and just kind of scanning the room, you can see people's mouths moving. Someone appears to be having a hard time with their bike shop. Some people are hitting up and chatting up this girl. You can see some other are talking about doing a robbery outside of town.
Oh, God.
There's another group of people talking about fencing some objects. And you can just barely see Mordecai and the big guy. And right before the big guy leaves, you see him say that they haven't found the will yet, and they suspect those two motherfuckers got it.
Okay. Oh, leaving the will behind was a good idea. Okay.
And Mordecai retorts, "Go wait in the back. I'll be there in a bit."
Okie doke.
So when I see Mordecai's goon leave, I finish up whatever beer I had and I order 2 shots of whiskey.
Okay. You get 2 shots of whiskey.
And then I start heading towards Mordecai with the 2 shots of whiskey, the toolbox, and I sort of nod at Joe so that he knows where I'm at. So he's aware.
I give him a wary nod to the head. It's I don't think they know, but they're pissed.
Okay.
However, a nod can do that. You know.
I'm gonna say
it's a
if you want to be able
with a nod.
if you want to be able to read that, make a psychology check.
I will. Okay, I'll read that. I will read that. That's a 5.
Yeah. So
Where is
somehow,
psychology? It's 5. It's
So
an
somehow-
extreme.
So somehow, with a nod, Joe is able to tell you that they're pissed.
Oh.
Whatever Joe was trying to relay to you with that very worried head nod, you got.
Okay.
Oh.
I nod like I'm sure. I know. And then I like sort of lift the toolbox a little bit. Not that I don't think Joe actually knows what's in that toolbox because he was freaking out inside the car. So I have the 2 shots of whiskey. Before I'm in view of him, I set one in front of him from like the side but behind before he's looked at me. And then I set one down on the table in front of me as he looks at me.
As you put the glass in front of him, he looks up at you and he sees the toolbox. Oh, hey Harris, you being a plumber now? And he looks where you put the glass and he looks at one of the guys who's sitting on that end. He gives a head nod. The guy gets up and just walks over to the other side of Mordecai. Sit down. Might have need of you later. That brings you to my table.
I'm sure you have need of me now. Mordecai, are you, you know what? I'm just gonna cut right to the chase. It's the Backstrom estate. You had guys there.
He stops for a second and you can see that he's working something out. He looks at you. I just received some news about the Backstrom estate, Harris. Do you have
Yeah.
anything to do with that?
Now be very careful here.
Mordecai, we go back quite a ways. I'm doing my job.
Yeah, I remember the job you did for me and you did a damn fine job at that.
It was a weird job, wasn't it?
It was. I remember covering it for you. And you took another job, which interfered with something of my business. Explain.
Things have gotten out of hand again, Mordecai. I'll start from the beginning.
No.
I
You
was
puts up a
hired.
hand. He puts up a hand to stop you. We're going to be talking business. And we are talking business.
Oh, we are.
We're not talking here. We got an office in the back. How about you join me? We can talk business there. Not out here. Not in public. He looks around the room. I was told that there was another one with you.
There is.
Where's the other fella?
I sort of wave at Joe and like gesture for him to come over.
Joe like tries to cover his face, but then he's just like, yeah, no, that's not gonna work. And then he stands up and he's like, nice drinking with you boys.
Yes, Jiggy. With you too. I love you.
I love you too.
I pick up the shot that I had brought over and sort of look at the one that Mordecai had and gesture, take a shot before we do all this.
He holds it up and clinks glasses with you and he takes a shot.
And then follow him to the back room. I, by the way, am prepared for some big guy to like try to clonk me over the side of the head or something. Not that there's any way for him to have communicated that or anything ahead of time, but I'm just ready for it.
Okay. So you follow Mordecai into the back room. And it leads down to this hallway that's not as nice as the one you saw. It wasn't like any bricks laid out, and there's some hanging lamps from the ceiling and a side door. You go into there, and it actually leads into something that looks like a fairly competent office. Big desk that Mordecai sits behind. And you see standing opposite Mordecai, off to his right, is the big guy. And then as you guys enter, Mordecai gestures to a couple of chairs that are in front of the desk.
Okay.
And as you guys take your seats, the door opens again, and those guys that Mordecai was sitting with start to enter the room and just kind of line the room. And there's about 6 of them.
Mordecai, I suppose this is expected from you. Listen, I'm not after money. Not at all. You're obviously searching for the will or trying to get a hold of something that Blair had. Adam just wants me to find his uncle. That's all I'm after. But things have become more complicated. And you remember the job I did for you so many years ago. The weird shit that I had told you that your own men corroborated. Similar things are happening again.
He looks up at the big guy, and he looks back at you. Like, I say things have gotten complicated. You killed 3 of my men. Harris.
He told
That's a
them
big
to shoot
fucking
me.
issue.
Of course I'm going to shoot back.
Oh, yeah. Did he tell you to fuck off?
He told me to fuck off.
Did you listen?
Mordecai,
You caused a big problem for me, Harris. I got 3 dead men up at that fucking house. I got the cops on me now. And, for another thing, Mr. Brown here, and he points to the big guy, believes that you found the will that we've been searching for.
I don't know any bullshit about any will.
That's good. That's a lie.
That is a lie. Is there a lie
So
on
it's a
here?
persuasion.
Persuasion.
Do persuasion.
And I want to be clear, I don't mean I don't know about the will. I mean I don't have it. Like I know that there's a thing going on. I will do a persuasion. 41 over 53. So it's a regular.
He looks at you. Then what were you doing in the house? Well, alright. I'll stop you there before you roll me up with the obvious. We don't know where Blair is. The house has been empty ever since he left. But what I'm wondering, Harris, this is what I'm fucking wondering. What are you gonna do to repay me for the men you took? The men that were under, and he points at the big guy, Mr. Brown's employ at the time. Now, I'm a forgiving person, Harris. Mr. Brown here, not so much. He used to be a night raider. Do you know what that is?
I've heard things. Go ahead and amuse me.
I would require some elaboration.
Entertain this.
So, Joe, when he says night raider, you know what that is. You were in the war. You were in the trenches. What night raiders were they were people who, at the dead of night, would go out into the enemy trenches and just cause general havoc for them. Either killing VIPs, stealing info, or blowing things up.
So like Black Ops, but in World War One.
Yep. And that's also what Mordecai relays to you guys. And then he mentions the unit that Mr. Brown was in. And you remember there was only one guy in that unit.
Oh, God. Yeah, I remember the Krauts telling ghost stories about you.
Brown looks at you.
Mordecai. And I put the toolbox on the desk. There's something you need to see, but I don't think you want everyone else to see it.
Can I also leave the room for this?
So to persuade Mordecai to let people out of the room, you are going to need a hard or better persuade. Because your previous history allows for you to be able to persuade this, but you're gonna need a pretty high roll, or a pretty low roll.
Well, I'm doing math, and I don't think I necessarily want to. It's a 72 over 52, so 72 over 53. I'm just gonna let that fail.
Nah. He looks at you. What's in the fucking toolbox, Harris?
I keep referencing the job I did for you in the past. The weird shit.
You're telling me there's some weird shit in this toolbox?
Yes. I would prepare your mind if you intend to look in there. But this is why I'm here. There are things that are going on that are beyond what we would like to understand, and it is all connected to Adam and Blair.
He leans back in his chair. So what do you want me to do about it? What the fuck do you want me to do? Want me to help you? Do you want me to go send out all my men and help you find Blair for you?
I came here to inform you so that as I continue to look for clues as to Blair's whereabouts, that I don't have to look over my shoulder all the time. That I don't run into further resistance, because Mordecai, if this shit gets out, if this gets any worse, I don't know what will happen to the town. People will panic. People will die. People might turn into weird monstrosities, and I gesture at the box.
He looks back down at the box and looks back up at you.
Is the box still, like, moaning?
It's jiggling.
Yeah.
And you can see, like, you know, like those two fused fingers in that hole that you poke through?
Mm-hmm.
You see, like, this little finger, like, poke up and, like, wiggle out and then go back in. And that, Mordecai sees that, and that kind of seems to be enough for him.
I need to talk to you, Mordecai. You were willing to help before. You were willing to put a wrap on this before. I know that crime is your deal, and I would never try to stop that because, frankly, Mordecai, you as well as the others are key to keeping stability in the city.
All right, I'm going to stop you with your flattery right now. So, with the weird shit that you just put on my desk.
Yes.
Listen, I'm not forgetting our history and the job that you did for me. What I am saying is there's a debt to be paid for the 3 lives you took. The 3 men that you killed. I can't just shrug that off. So, here's how this is going to go down. I'm going to go ahead and call off my dogs. That's another favor that you owe me. And here's what we're going to do. You're going to give me that fucking will. And then I'm going to call on you for a job that you're going to do for free. And you're going to do it. Because if you break any part of this arrangement or you try to screw me, He points at Mr. Brown. So I won't impede your investigation. But you're going to give me what I'm owed from that house. And then after that, you'll do another job for me.
I'm not a murderer,
I know you're not.
as long as you understand that.
I understand. But 3 lives were still taken. That costs money.
So if you want dirt on somebody, I can help you with that. But if you want me to assassinate someone, not something I can do.
No, I know your set of skills. You find things. So, when I need something found, I'll call on you. You'll go find it for me.
All right. As for the will, I already told you I don't have it. I wasn't looking for that.
All right, then you're going to do another thing for me. Instead of finding the will, I want you to go pay a visit to the Grands.
The nephews?
The cousins.
No, the cousins?
God, man, read your fucking notes.
Nephew and niece of Blair.
You want the cousins?
Aye. They hired us for this job, and they've been paying us fairly steadily. But of late, the money's been running a bit short.
You know they don't have money, right?
That's why I'm going to have you go down there, confirm for me, and see if they're even worth our fucking time. And if you're able to bring proof to me that they're not, I'll even let the will slide.
All right.
Now, Mr. Hammer.
His head just like snaps and like looks over at you. Not like snaps, but like just like really quickly, he just like looks at you.
This is just a point of, I don't want to say honor, more of a point of stupidity on my part, but Ben wasn't fully responsible for all 3 of your men dying. I was the guy that lopped off the head of one of them with a mace.
He points at you and goes, "You're the bloke that brained Danny? He had a wonderful singing voice."
Oh, that Danny boy, I'm sorry. So if there's any way that you could, like, shift some of the debt off of Mr. Harrison.
Fine. Yes, I would agree it is a vote of stupidity on your part.
Yeah.
And when I call in for the job to find something, you'll be joining him.
Okay. All right.
And
Ben's
Mr.
like pinching the bridge of his nose. Damn it, Joe.
I was just hoping that I could just move something, because I'm really good at picking stuff up, but, yeah, I guess I'd probably be helping him on that job anyway.
You two are in this together. You two are going to continue to be in this together. And as long as everything goes right, I'll make sure that Mr. Brown here doesn't put a bomb under your car.
I mean, I don't have a car, but I know Ben has a car, so that'd be kind of unfortunate for him.
Right. So then this is how it's going to work. Yous two are going to go to the Grands. You're going to find out they actually have the money they say that they owe me, or if they don't. And if they don't, you bring that proof back here, and I let the whole Backstrom estate wheels slide. But not the deaths. That debt will be calling in later. Understand?
All right, O'Leary. All right. I agree to these terms.
Right. And he gets up. He holds out his hand.
I shake.
Now take this fucking toolbox off my desk.
I'll try to keep that under wraps, too.
Take care of your mess.